The Kia Sportage has been around in the UK since 1995, and over those 30 years it's sold more than 450,000 examples and made itself into a household name. Now, this family favourite SUV has had a midlife refresh. But with so much new competition out there, does the Kia still deserve to be your next family car?
I will get to that, but first let's talk about what's new and what's not new on the Kia Sportage. So first things first is the styling's been updated to look a bit more like the electric cars, the EV9, the EV3, all that kind of thing. So you've got the old tiger face, as Kia calls it, which I actually don't mind because I think it looks really smart. So it's quite kind of bluff and modern and chunky, but I think it's very distinctive, and I do quite like Kia's design, so I have no issues with that. It's not a radical update, is it? I don't think. You're still going to see it, and I think you're going to know it's a Sportage, but you know it's the new model. It looks all clean and modern and smart. You've obviously got the contrast roof on top spec models. Yeah, I quite like it. Not a lot has changed inside either, although they've lost some of the gloss black finishes because everybody complained about the fingerprints showing up on it, so that's good news. So there you have it. You've still got a 1.6 petrol as the entry-level option. That starts at just under £31,000. You can have a full hybrid or self-charging hybrid, 1.6 petrol as well, and that starts at just under £35,000. And there will also be a plug-in hybrid, which will get a pure electric range of roughly 45 miles, but that's not confirmed yet. That's going to join the range a bit later this year. But these cars go on sale pretty much now. You can go and order it now, and I mean, it's such a popular car, isn't it? You see Sportages everywhere. This has been one of Kia's biggest success stories. It makes them a lot of money. It's one of their big profit makers. And you can see why it's such a popular car with so many families. It's become a real default option, I think, rather like the Qashqai. You know, it's the go-to family car now. So, still 4.6 metres long, still got all of the other cars to compete with, including Qashqai, Kodiaq, Karoq, all of the everything. Tiguan, Tayron, it's got kind of bigger and smaller alternatives from all of those different brands to compete with. So there's so many other cars out there for the Kia to take on, but I think it looks pretty smart. So let's go and find out what it's like to drive.
So far, so good. There is a powertrain for every lifestyle, and there is also a simplified trim lineup with pure GT Line and GT Line S models. And as you'd expect of Kia, even the entry-level car gets generous kit, including a big touchscreen system which now gets wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You do have to go for the GT Line trim to get heated front seats and charging ports in the back though, which is a bit annoying. Top spec GT Line S adds a panoramic sunroof and head-up display, but it does push the price well over the £40,000 mark, even if you go for the entry-level petrol model.
So you are going to have to forgive me slightly glossing over the interior on the Sportage because not a lot has changed. It's still got really good space in the back seats and 40-20-40 split rear seats, so it's quite versatile. Decent sized boot. Other stuff to note about the interior of the Sportage. I've already mentioned there's less gloss plastic. I still think it looks pretty smart in here. The screens themselves are actually, the hardware is still the same. Fine by me, because Kia stuff was always pretty good actually. It's a pretty good family car. If you want something bigger than this, then you can look at things like the Skoda Kodiaq. But I'd say as a sort of happy medium between the Skoda Kodiaq and slightly smaller alternatives like the Skoda Karoq, if you'll forgive me using another Skoda alternative. Well, I've got the hybrid version of the Sportage here, not the plug-in hybrid. This is the full hybrid or self-charging hybrid, which means it flicks into electric power when it can at low speeds and when it's cruising at higher speeds, just to boost the efficiency. There is also more power in this powertrain now, so you get 235 brake horsepower for a alright 0 to 62 mile per hour time of about 8-ish seconds, depending on whether you go for front wheel drive or four wheel drive. I've got the all wheel drive one here, which is a little bit slower at 8.1 seconds. Whisper it, but I think I actually prefer this hybrid powertrain to those in the Toyota RAV4, which would be another of many key rivals to this car. It's pretty quiet. You do notice when the 1.6 petrol turbocharged engine in here, when it kicks in, there's a bit of a thrum and you just sort of feel a slight hesitation as it switches between pure electric to petrol running. And perhaps more importantly is that all the pedal responses stay pretty consistent, so nothing changes on that front. Another big difference for this facelift is that you've now got paddles to change the brake regen on the Sportage. So you can toggle through 3 levels and you can have it as a set level for the brake regen, or you can put it into auto mode so that it's adaptive, and yet you can also still toggle through those 3 settings in adaptive mode. I know that sounds a bit complicated, but it works really well in practice. I say this a lot about Kias and high-endis, but I really do think they've nailed brake regen and how to control it right from the off with their electric cars, and now on these hybrids as well. Because it means you can basically use it like gears. So I'm going down a big hill at the moment, you can put it in a higher regen mode and you can gather all that extra energy, and you can have full control over whether you want heavier braking or not, and whether you want it to be adaptive or not. So it just gives you full control. And in practice, if you've never used a system like this, it feels quite natural and you get used to it quickly.
Unfortunately, economy and CO2 emissions have yet to be confirmed for the facelifted Sportage, but they will obviously improve on the outgoing model, so we'd estimate emissions to come in at around about 125 to 140 grams per kilometre for the hybrid that we're driving here, while we would estimate real-world economy to be around about 45 mpg.
I think the Sportage still makes a lot of sense, and I think this facelift just makes it feel more fresh, more modern. It can also now tow 1.5 tonnes, so that'll be good if you're considering something like this for perhaps a light caravan. I think they've updated the bits that needed to be updated and not messed about too much with the bits that didn't. And that, it has to be said, is a good thing. Is the Sportage still the car that you should buy if you're shopping in the sort of mid-sized family SUV market, as a lot of people are? Well, I think yes, if you can get the right monthly deal on it. Let's face it, it will come down to lease and monthly PCP costs, and Kia's not always the best on that. Sometimes they're a bit punchy on their monthly costs. If you can get the right deal on it, then it's a really solid, really good, well-equipped, comfortable car. I like it. It just does the job. And when it comes to family SUVs, that's what you want, isn't it?
Don't forget to head to cargurus.co.uk for a whole host of fantastic used cars, including loads of brilliant used Kias that have still got warranty left. And while you're here, please do like the video, subscribe to the CarGurus UK YouTube channel, and turn your notifications on so that you don't miss any of our videos.